Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock, and yes, Kizzy Rock is my birth given name. Happy Thursday. Want to say hey to all my subscribers, new as well as season. I got a word for you. Tap in. I was about to say happy Friday. Okay, guys, so I want to start. Good morning. I want to start with those of you who are experiencing back to back attacks. And I mean back to back. It's not once and twice every 6 months any longer. It is literally back to back. Also, I want to speak on the importance of respect. Again, that when I speak on it, demand your respect. I had a good sis who emailed me a couple of days ago. I'm going to tie her email within the respect thing, but it was just one of those emails like, he's not coming home and I just don't know what to do. And when he comes home, he says this, that, and the third. And then he says that I'm overthinking things. I just don't know what to do and why he keeps doing. Listen, I'm going to speak on that. No disrespect. It is what it is, right? We all have a growing process. And then I want to speak on, I'll see where it goes. All right, so let's start with these back-to-back attacks. It's important to note that the more frequent and the level of intensity of the attack indicate the size of your blessing, literally. Because when you were at lower levels, the attacks were petty. I mean, you didn't feel they were petty at the time, but comparing them to the attacks that you encounter now, those attacks were a breeze. Those were petty stuff. Where now, I mean, it's listen, the attacks are to the level where all you can do is trust God. Like that's your only option. Where with other attacks, you can try to put your hand in it, try to maneuver things, try to do this, do that, just human nature, trying to defend ourselves, protect ourselves. But these level of attacks, all you can do is stand and trust and believe. Speaking of that, God will give you a strategic way with these attacks. It may not look the same as the strategic way last time for different reasons. Maybe that's a path that the enemy already know that you're going to take. Maybe you've spoken on your attack. This is why it's important sometimes. I mean, you just got to connect with God, because sometimes, it's important to talk about certain things because you got to get wise counsel and other people to pray for you. But with some attacks, you just got to be quiet, because when you speak on it, like you're giving demonic forces like even more leverage to amp certain things up, right? When you get certain downloads on how to move strategically, and God may even change the direction, because again, something can happen. I don't know, something can happen where the direction or download that he gave you yesterday, something could happen and now you got to duck, dodge, and move, like literally like dodge a ball type of thing. So this is why it's so important to turn off your distractions and to stay tapped in so you can hear your strategic moves. But what I'm realizing with these new level of attacks is truly, 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 a lot of these attacks are things that your hand are tied in, and it's really about you trusting God 100%. Turn on your worship music, like just worship and worship, where you're not even allowing stuff to creep into your head. You got to stay filled up in the spiritual realm until that attack passes. But again, do not feel that you're alone, or don't feel like you're being punished because you're getting back to back, back to back, back to back. It can be your health, it can be your job, it can be your kids, it can be your family, it can be your money, it can be the business deal ain't working out, the ministry not working out. It can even look like the one thing that you believe God told you to do ain't even working out. Like these attack, and the enemy is going to attack the thing that you love the most, the thing that you need the most. He's going to hit you on that level. But again, that's an indication of the level of your blessings, because if you think back on attacks in the past, those attacks they were petty. I mean, they felt like major attacks at that time when we were at lower levels, but now comparing them to the level of attacks that we're going through now, those attacks were a breeze. Like a breeze. And then they may have only lasted for a couple of days or so. These attacks are lasting for weeks and months and things like that, right? But again, it can be two things, or it could be more. But one, again, is the enemy trying to hit you where you drop, where you can't keep moving forward. See, what you got to do is it requires gruffness, right? I know there are some people who are very kind of laid back, meek, and that's okay. That's okay. But there's times you just can't play with the enemy. I'm just gonna keep it real with you. You just can't play with the enemy. Like you got to get gruff. You got to be determined. You got to stand. Like you got to listen. Yeah. I won't lie. You knocked me down real bad right here. Right. I'm not even gonna lie. But when I get my strength, just prepare because it's on. Right. You got to have that mindset. So it literally is take the hit, keep it moving. Take the hit, keep it moving. Take the hit, drop, get up, keep it moving. Next step, keep it moving. Another hit, boom, you fall, get back up. You literally have to take the hit and keep it moving. He wants to get you to the point where you take the hit and you stay down. So you're going to miss. We're too close. We're too close, right? So he's trying to get you to give up. On the flip side, what I'm also realizing is that God is increasing our faith even more. So we thought we had a level of faith, like, right? We really thought we had a level of faith. Honey, this level of faith, again, is requiring you to trust is the only thing you can do. So God is preparing you and he is strengthening you because where you're going, the attacks are going to be so fierce that he's building your stamina now. Excuse me. He's building your stamina now. So this is why you will realize that each time you get hit now is very intense, but then you trust more and more with the next attack. And then you trust more and more with the next attack. So he's trying to get us to a level where when I say we trust and we believe and you stand firm and that's what it is, period. Because again, where you're going is in due season, you're going to be attacked, right? Due season is not all dandelions and lilies, right? Due season, you're going to be attacked even worse. But the difference is you won't fight. You won't have to fight those attacks. So that's why he's trying to get you prepared. You won't have to fight there. You just stand and take the hits. This time you won't even drop. You just stand and take the hits. Really quickly, in regards to disrespect, here's the thing. It may not be your man not coming home. It may not be your woman stealing money out your wallet to get a hit of crack. It may not be this. It may not be that. It may, whatever it is. Respect is respect. Point blank period. I'm a person. I'm huge. I mean, all caps. I'm huge on respect. One, because I give it. At least I try to give it. And if I miss the mark, I'll go back and apologize and make it right or try to make it right. Also because I know who I am and I know what I carry. Period. So if you have access to my life, you're blessed. Period. And vice versa, hopefully. So this is why I keep saying that until you get to the point where you allow God to heal your broken wounds, again, maybe from a last horrible marriage or relationship, or even just from some childhood traumas or wounds, your rejection issues. If you're dealing with like rejection and abandonment issues, you will tolerate disrespect because there's just something that it's like you're trying to, I can't explain what I'm feeling, but you're trying to literally hold on to a person who's disrespecting you because it's almost like you felt like because everybody else have left you. So you're clinging on like a wild cat, even though they're disrespecting you. So you got to let God heal those wounds first, because once you're complete, once you're whole, once you know what you carry, once you know that if I touch it, it turns to gold. Once you know that if I enter your life or vice versa, you're going to be blessed. Like once you have that mindset, it's natural to demand respect. You can't demand people to respect you with your words. Think about it. He's not coming home, and I'm not even getting in, like I don't get involved with people's relationships or whatever, but this is just my opinion, right? So you're telling him 1,000 times, well, you're not coming home, and it's the same. What is the actions behind it that's going to cause the change behavior? What is the consequences? Hearing your mouth again? Like, what is the consequences? So if you're not giving people consequences, then the actions don't change. And let's keep in mind also that even when you give consequences, the behavior may not change. And that's fine. That's absolutely okay, right? You can't force anybody to do anything. However, you remove yourself from the situation. You cannot force. Somebody needs to hear this. I can feel it. You can't force anybody to treat you a certain kind of way. You just can't force it. You can even give ultimatums. How long is that going to last? Either you do this or I'm going to do that. So they straighten up for a day or two. And then, like, you can't. You just can't. You got to stand firm on knowing who you are, removing yourself from the situation, and then placing yourself around people who value you, who reciprocate that type of energy. But again, it will be hard to do that if you haven't done the work. It will be hard to do that if you're moving with low self-esteem or confidence. It will be hard to do that if you don't have a strong relationship with God and know who you are, purpose and calling. Because you at this point, you don't even know what you have to offer. Excuse me, God, my allergies are like on 10. You don't even know what you have to offer. You don't even know what you have to offer. So it's hard to demand respect. So for many of you who have already done the work, insist, be patient with yourself, be gentle with yourself. It's a process. It literally is life is a process, right? It's about embracing that process. It's about growth, right? But you have to also embrace that because everybody don't. But those of you who are already at that level, like you've already leveled up, you know what it is. You don't even make a fuss. Like you're not even raising your voice. Like I'm not even having this conversation another time because we've already had this conversation a couple of times, which that's too much. I just remove myself out of the situation. That's all. No harm, no foul. Just remove yourself out of the situation. You can't be afraid to walk. You have to demand your respect, point blank, period. It's your girl, Kizzy Rock.